What's up everyone? Today we are going to learn how we can make the basic base of a node. We're going to make the background and the node. That's all. We're not going to do the styling today. We're just going to learn how to center a div basically. So if we go to the front, we have the hello house screen. So today we're not going to style stuff. We just want to make the base, okay? In the home screen, I want to have a div, but in this div, this is going to be as big as the screen. So I want to have a bit of style. So width is going to be just at the background, okay? So background color of try to black one. We can see everything because it doesn't have a height. But if I add a bit of height, you can see it, but I want it to be as big as the page. So width 100 view width, a height of 100 view height. So now it's going to be as big as the page, okay? The colors are going to change over time, okay? We just want to provide the base. And this div should have a little container in the middle, so the actual node, so another div. And we can say this one to have a background, let's say white, and the width of 10 ERM and the height of, let's say, 80 ERM or 15. So you can see it right here. I want to make it into the middle, so we can tell the parent to align its element into the middle. So we are going to add display flex, because the display flex is going to give us two properties: justify content center. It went right here, and align items center. This is going to align it into the center. So those properties are going to align it into the center, both vertical and horizontal. But we need to add display flex, okay? This one should be a bit bigger, so we can tell it to be 90%, let's say 30% as big as the parent, so as this div, which is as big as the screen, and 90% in the height. This is going to be our base for the node. Let's say that the node is going to have a little header and a little body. So we can say the header. Let's add the background color so you can see the difference red, and this one is going to have another background color just to see the difference blue. So we need to add, let's tell this one to have a width as big as the parent, so the node, and the height 20%, and the other one the same, but the other height, so 80%. And you can say, let's say 10 and 90, and that's better. So you can see this is going to be the body and this is going to be the title. So let's make this one again white and this one white, and let's just add a border between them. So border bottom 1 pixel solid black. Okay, here we're going to add a note title. So note title, and we need to center it, and I told you how we can do it. This paragraph is having a bit of margin, so I want to say margin 0. So from what you can see, it's not having that space now between the margins. I want to make it a bit bigger, so font size 1.1 ERM, font weight bold, so it got a bit bolder, and we can add a bit of padding. So the parent, I'm going to tell it padding 5 ERM, 5 pixels. Nah, never mind, it's just a line, or just tell the paragraph to be a bit more into the left. So how we can do it, we can do something like margin left, just to have a bit of margin left, maybe a bit more, and a bit of margin margin top, like this. But what I don't like is that it's pushing everything down, so we can do another approach, just at the position of relative top 1 here I am, left 1 RAM. Position relative allows us to use top and left. And if I delete it, you can see that is moving back. Okay, everything's fine now. So we have the title, and here we're going to have node 1, node 2. So let's create an array. So const nodes, this is going to have more nodes. So let's imagine that this is from the backend. So we are going to have an array of objects, so an array of nodes. So more objects. Okay, the first one is going to have a name of node 1, a description, let's adjust the node, and it's going to have an ID 1, and let's add more of them. So this is just a way of creating an array of objects, and let's make a specific ID node 2, node 3, node 4, node 5. And what we want to do into the body, we want to do something like to have a div node 1, node 2. So we want to print all the nodes, okay, something like this, but we can add them manually, so we can hard code it, but we can iterate through this node and tell that for every element we want to print a div. Okay, so this is going to be brackets nodes dot map. So we are iterating to every node with this variable, and we are returning a paragraph. And so this node is going to go for every element from this array, and from every element we want to print a paragraph where we want to add the node dot name, and you can see them right here. And if you have too many, you can see that our node is expanding down, and I want to be able to scroll through the node. So we have to let's make a bit of stuff so you can understand the idea. Font size, then RAM. So they're big, so we need to scroll down the page. But what can I do? Let's add 5. Note the title. So name, sorry. So they are too big. If I make them even bigger, so let's imagine we need to scroll down. I don't want to scroll down. I want to tell the body to have an overflow x scroll, and now we can scroll through the nodes. Okay. So from every array, so we are printing for every element from this array a paragraph. The React requires for every element iterated with a map, we need to add the ID. So the key is just going to be something unique. So denote that ID. Okay, that's the idea. Let's just make them a bit prettier. In the next video, we are going to get them from the backend, so the actual nodes. Okay, good. What I want to do is to make them a bit prettier. So I want to have a div. So div like this. And to print a paragraph for this node name. Let's not make them that big. Maybe 3 RAM. 2 should be fine. We can add the border 1 pixel like this. Okay, we can tell every paragraph to have a bit of margin left, just a bit. Okay, every paragraph can have a little description, so a small description, so we can add the description here. Description 1, and let's add this one to the other ones. Paste it here. So we just add another field. So every node now is going to have a node.description, and you can see it right here. Okay, I'm going to remove this font size and just make this one a H5, maybe H4, 3. Okay, that's good enough. We can add a bit of margin between those elements, so just a bit. So margin top 0.5, so they have a bit of space between. It's not necessarily required. I want some of them to have a bit of background, so background color black, but let's say Google color picker. Let's just make this one, copy it and add it right here. Okay, but some of them I want them to be white, some of them to be this type of color. So we can say something like background color is going to be a nice thing we can get with the node. We can get the index. Okay, so the index, and if the index is going to be I don't know how to pronounce this, is going to be able to be divided by 2, then we want to add the background color of this one, else a black one, like so. How we can do this? Let me just make as it was before so you don't get lost. So I want to have specific background colors, so just add those commas, I don't know how to call them, add a dollar and brackets. And now if the index of the node, so if the index divided by 2 can be is going to give the rest 0, then let's add the background color of this, else just a black background color. And then we need to let me just pay attention a bit of the on the syntax. Okay. We need to add the dollar sign. So just a second. Let's do it again. So brackets, those commas, and this one. Never mind. Just add this one like that. So you're just going to need these commas, the dollar sign and the brackets. The dollar sign and the brackets is specifying that we want to use some variables. So index, if the index can be divided by 2, we can add this background color, else this background color. Okay, that's the idea. And some of them are going to have white and black. Let's add a different one. So don't black, just the same color but a bit different, so we have a bit of contrast between them, just something a bit different. Maybe we're going to make more styling in the future, but that's just the base, like this. So some of them are having a more contrast color. Okay, that's the idea. What I want to do now, we can make a little hover effect. So if you are hovering over a node, you can have the background of white. So you can add a class name, node, hover, copy this one, go to the app.css, delete everything, add the dot and not hover, and we are going to say, when we are going to hover over a node, we want to add the background color of white and import, so it's going to overwrite everything, and you can see that it's hovering. And we can say cursor pointer, so I have a pointer like this. And that's our basic Node. What I want to do now is go back, and that's fine, okay, that's all for today. So we just did a little centering of the div. I provided you how we can use mapping to print some elements dynamically. In the next video we are going to get the nodes from the backend.